Libby. Been in Malaysia for the past year. The news kind of grabbed me. Like, there was a lot in the news about blockades, which is really what happened like maybe 20 years ago in Sarawak and Borneo. Right. Like the logging there. The place I went to is Gua Musang, which is in the Kelantan region. So like the tribe that's really fighting is called the Temiar, and they're from Kelantan, like the forest there.
If logging continues in the ancestral homelands of the Orang Asli, the blockades will spread.
The way their culture is, it's so tied to the landscape, their history is inscribed in the area, yeah.
Harta intelek, warisan dan hazanah yang menjadi kebanggaan Malaysian oil akan pupus di bila zaman lah. Jadi bangga ini harap-harap mudah-mudahan kalau boleh dipikir bersama lah, relok dia bersui balik benda ni.
And I got this Temiar guy's number, his email. It's Mustafa, and I met him there at Kampung Perak after. But I went with this guy, his name's Jules Raman Ong, and he's the documentary journalist. Yeah, drove me there, it was nice. So Mustafa, he's sort of like the Kelantan leader. They're so peaceful too, so it's like they've been forced to really fight now, like, because the logging thugs, they have like a lot of gangster affiliates that come in and they sort of impersonate police, and they'll like chainsaw like down their sacred house, like and all the blockades obviously. But that was what was happening in the news at the time, and I wanted to know more.
In the province of Jambi on Sumatra, police were able to prove arson by confiscating a petrol canister as evidence. The palm oil company, PT RKK, was fined €12 million for arson. The Unilever supplier was found guilty of burning down the forest, the cheapest way to make lucrative palm oil plantations. Kalimantan, the Indonesian part of Borneo, in November 2015. For 3 months, locals lived under a blanket of toxic sulfurous smog. Air pollution levels were 3,000% above the health-threatening legal limit. Hospitals struggled to cope.
I think in Borneo it's like 98% of the forest is gone, which is crazy. Yeah, and like it's sort of happening in Malaysia now. There's lots of palm oil plantations. Palm oil. It used to be rubber, and now palm oil's the big bad. They put it in everything.
The price of palm oil made in Malaysia and Indonesia has risen as people search for ways to replace oil, but not everyone's convinced by the crop's environmental credentials. Divya Gopalan reports.
In 2016, palm oil consumption reached 62 million tonnes. Since Europe introduced its biofuel policy, the land used for palm oil monocultures has quadrupled. An area 3 times the size of Switzerland has been turned into monocultures.
The logging is like, so many of the settlements also just went underwater because of the deforestation, because trees, like, they'll soak up a lot of the water during monsoon season, and then when they're not there, they just like carry all the silt into the rivers, and then the rivers just like get more and more full, and then they burst. And like weeks and weeks, their villages were like underwater. The water rose like something crazy, like 8 meters. I saw this sort of parallel between like the land rights here, but in Malaysia, the natives have like literally like little to no say, and like they have no representation really. Like.
Who did this?
They can't find the arsonists, or don't want to find them. But everything here was burnt down, even our fields and houses.
Like, there's no party they have, so they need like exposure and like more people to really empathize with their cause.